Hello, friends, welcome back. And today we are going to start chapter number 2 from the Holy Signs. And the topic of this chapter is the ultimate goal. And what is the ultimate goal of human life? That is salvation. In Hindi, we call it mukti, moksha. This is the ultimate goal of the life. But do you decide this goal? I mean, as a person, I decide a goal in my life. I decide to become you know, some officer. I decide to become some doctor, some engineer. So these are the goals that we decide. But who decides this goal? Did you decide? Do you decide it? No. The answer is no. You don't decide that you will get the salvation. In fact, this salvation is nothing but the ultimate goal already by default of your soul. I repeat, your soul has a by default goal to get the salvation, which means that your soul is by default but natural running towards the salvation, right? And to understand it more clearly, you need to go back to the first chapter. What we understood in the first chapter? We understood that there is a God particle and there is a Big Bang. An event happens, Big Bang. So that's the start of the universe. That's the start of the creation, right? So when this starts, then the two waves starts in the opposite direction. One direction is this, and the other direction is this. So this direction and this direction. Both are the two different and opposite directions. And this is the God particle from where it starts. The vibration starts. The ultimate vibration starts. So this wave which is running in this direction, this wave is by default attracting this wave which is running in the opposite direction. It is attracting towards itself. And attraction towards the this direction, towards the God particle ultimately, right? Attraction towards the God particle, attraction towards this direction, right, is the direction of salvation, right? Because this direction is of intellect. In Hindi, we call it buddhi, and this direction is called manas, means our mind, our inner conscience. Here we move ahead. And this is the world. This is our world where we live, where we take birth, right? So, as a result of this Big Bang, this wave by default attracting this wave or pulling this wave towards its direction. So by default, every soul, right? All the souls are here. Every soul is getting attracted towards the direction of God. So by default, ultimate target of any soul or any person is the salvation. Salvation is nothing like you decide. No, you never decide. By default, your soul is running towards the salvation. It wants the salvation, right? So I hope you must have understood. So salvation is nothing, something, it is not something which you decide that I would like to become free. I would like to, get the salvation. No, it's not your goal, right? You just realize it that it's your goal. I repeat, you don't decide that salvation is the ultimate goal of your life. You don't decide it. You just realize at some point of time, with the grace of God, due to the grace of God, that yes, this was my ultimate goal. You just realize, you just find it out, right? For example, if you are doing some work, your manager or your boss has asked you to do something, but you are not able to understand why he is telling me to do this work, what he's going to achieve through it, right? You don't know. But when you find the objective, ultimately, at some point of time, when you become like sensitive, not sensitive, like you become intellectual enough in that area where that work you are doing, in that domain, whatever work you are doing, then in that case you understand that this was the ultimate target, and that is why my boss was saying to do this urgently, or that is why my boss is very much eager to get this task done. Similarly, our ultimate boss, which is the God, he has decided this ultimate goal for us, salvation. And at some point of time, when we are, you know, under the guidance of God, God energy, how you come to the guidance of God energy? Through the yoga, practice of any yoga, karma yoga, right? The, the yoga of action, karma yoga, or the yoga of knowledge, jnana yoga, or the yoga of devotion, the bhakti yoga. So any kind of yoga that helps you to understand, to realize this ultimate goal, right? So if you follow the yoga of action, or if you follow the yoga of knowledge, or if you follow the yoga of devotion or bhakti, right, in that case, you start realizing. In that case, you start realizing that yes, this was your ultimate goal. And since these yogas have been defined and they have been explained, and they are the modus operandi in this nature to, just to realize yourself, just to get rid of all the illusions, right? These yogas just help you to get rid of these illusions. As soon as you get rid of the illusions, which is known as maya, you are able to know your true self, and you are able to understand, and you are able to realize that this was my ultimate goal, which is the salvation, right? So I hope you must have understood now. So the ultimate goal is has been decided by God, because the yogas, different yogas, they have also been explained by God only. They have been that is the modus operandi of this nature, to move into the direction of God, to get rid of the maya, to get rid of the illusions. That is why that modus operandi, since it has also been the modus operandi of this nature created by God itself. So that direction is ultimately directed by the God, indirect way or direct way, whatever you can say. In an indirect way, all these yogas have been told to you, right? You can say direct way as well, because in Bhagavad Gita, these have been explained very well, right? So when you follow these yoga, you realize, right? So this is the ultimate goal of your life. You just realize it. You don't set this as a goal that you have to get the salvation in your life. Now, there are two thoughts why it happens, how you realize. First thought is that I can perceive through my experience that this is illusion. And how I perceive through my experience. The source is explained in the Mandukya Upanishad. If you read the Mandukya Upanishad, then you will be able to find that there are four consciousness levels explained. And while explaining each of the consciousness levels, it has clearly been explained that how you feel in the dreams, and whatever you feel in the dreams, that looks very much real to you. Similarly, whatever you are able to see in this world, that looks very much real to you. But in case of dream, when you are in the dream, you are thinking that everything is very much real. You are getting the test of everything that you get in the real life in the same manner. So that's how you start perceiving that this is illusion, that this world, or whatever we are able to see in this world, that could also be an illusion. That could be also like I'm in another dream, and after I will wake up, I will find out the real truth, right? So that is the that is one of the thought that comes to your mind when you are able to understand the similarity between the dreams and your real life, that whatever you feel in the dream, that also looks real, and whatever you are feeling in this real world, also you are perceiving it as real, right? So these thoughts, when these thoughts comes, until you get these thoughts which are explained in Mandukya Upanishad, you don't start your journey towards it, towards the salvation. You don't start realizing. Your journey towards realization of the salvation, or the realization of the ultimate goal, doesn't start. The realization of the salvation is a journey which starts at some point of time, right? So that is one thought when it starts. The other thought is that I can assume through my experience that if one thing is true, then the other thing will also be true, which is associated with it. For example, Even if I don't experience that, whatever I felt in my dream and whatever I'm able to see in the real world, they both are very much similar. That comes to everyone's experience. But some people may think that, yes, I don't believe that much. There could be something else. But yeah, I can understand that there is a thought that in the dreams, whatever I saw was was looking like real. So whatever I'm seeing here, if that is also looking real, then it's a point of understanding. It's a point of research somewhere. So one is like you have realized it, that there is a similarity, and the other thing is that someone told you, you don't realize it, but you have understood this, that yes, in the dream and in the real life you feel both the things real, but you are not somehow accepting it. But yeah, even after not accepting it, you know that this is true. So once you know that this is true, and now I should start my learning, my search, then in that case, again, you start moving towards the salvation. You start moving towards realization of the salvation, that yes, this was the ultimate goal. Okay, so in both the cases, whatever the case may be, in both the cases, he feels, or I can say, I feel and you feel, we feel the relation between the nature and the God. We start feeling the relation between the nature and the God. We start feeling that there is some kind of consciousness, which is the source of all these consciousness, and which is the ultimate consciousness. And there is something in this nature which is controlling all my consciousness, and which is the supreme consciousness controlling everything, right? Just like in my dream, I create my own world. Similarly, that particular consciousness have also created this entire world, right? So there is a relation you can assume, you can start assuming between the God and this nature, right? And you feel that this all is because of this illusion. And you start feeling that because of the illusion, because of the because of my efforts in my materialistic life, which I think like that is the real source of all the happiness, because of that only, because of running towards the material life, I'm not able to understand this, right? I was not able to realize this, that yes, there is some similarity between my dream and my conscious state, right? So that illusion, that kind of thought which comes to your mind, which tells you that yes, this is an illusion, this world is itself an illusion. In that case, you want to become free from all this, because you understand at this point of time that yes, whatever I'm feeling is not the real thing, and whatever I'm expecting in my real life is the happiness. Everyone wants happiness, everyone is running towards happiness. Since it realizes that there is something wrong wherever I am running for my happiness, for my pleasure, that pleasure is not in that direction. There is someone who is the source of all this pleasure, who is the source of the seed of all these pleasures that I want to feel. He starts feeling this thing, he starts understanding this thing, because he understands that there is someone who is the ultimate consciousness, and that has created all kind of consciousness, that is the root of all the consciousness. So that consciousness should be the seed of all the pleasures that I want to achieve. So with this thought, he starts understanding the relation between him and the nature, right? So connecting with the nature is the first thing, and connecting with the nature is known as yoga. Connecting with the nature is a kind of yoga. So connecting with the nature is the first step in the direction of realization of your ultimate goal, which is salvation, right? So this was the second verse of this chapter, chapter number 2. And now comes to the definition of salvation. What is salvation? This, which is the third verse. So what is salvation? Salvation has been defined like being away from this illusion. Salvation is nothing but you being away from this illusion, right? So once you are able to get rid of this illusion, how you get rid of this? Through the yoga, whether it's yoga of action, karma yoga, whether it's yoga of knowledge, whether it's yoga of devotion, bhakti yoga, whatever the case may be. These help you to get away from these illusions. So once you start getting away from these illusions, then you start realizing your own true self, right? Because the illusion stops you to see the real thing. Just like illusion is nothing but like a cloud, right? When the cloud is there, the sunlight doesn't reaches to the earth, but it doesn't mean that there is no sun. There is sun, but because of the uh, clouds, which you can compare with the illusions, you are not able to see your true self. You are not able to see the source of light, right? You are not able to see that why still the light is there when sun is not there. But I mean, you are not able to understand that yes, there is something which is causing the light, because you are able to only see the clouds. But once the clouds will be removed, you are able to see the sun, that yes, this sun is the real source of light. Whatever light I can see, this was the source of that. So similarly, when all the illusions are gone, then you are able to see your true self. Then you are able to see that energy. And this is nothing but like you see your true self doesn't mean that yes, you will be able to see something. It's just like you tune yourself, right? Till the time you are involved in this materialistic world, you have a certain frequency. That frequency causes a different level of consciousness inside you, and that consciousness doesn't resembles to the consciousness or the frequency of that particular consciousness, which is the source of all the things. So removing illusion only means that you are setting your frequency slowly under the guidance of a guru, under the guidance of a master. Slowly you are setting your frequency, you are lowering your frequency to a level which is the level of the ultimate creator, that is the source of this nature. And once you reach there, then it is the salvation. And now I hope you must have understood what is the meaning of getting rid of the illusions. It's just like the tuning, it's nothing. It's just the tuning of energy waves, tuning of the frequency of the energy waves, that energy wave which is known as the supreme consciousness. And that consciousness is the source of all different consciousness, whether it's the awakening consciousness, whether it's the consciousness in the dream, whether it's the consciousness in the sleep, which is without the dreams, or whether it is the consciousness, which is the source of all these three consciousness, or the father of all these three consciousness, right? So that consciousness level, which is known as the highest consciousness level from where all the consciousness have started, tuning to that particular consciousness level is the salvation. I hope you must have understood. So this chapter is also very much interesting. So we have understood three verses of this chapter. In the next video, we will understand the other verses. So till then, have a nice day and bye bye. Thank you.